Hi, my name is Sara, and I would like to tell you a story. Being non-binary means that I live outside of society's definition of gender, the binary, if you will, hence the non. For me personally, I started to realize after I was separated from my now ex, I was like, whoa, had a kind of an identity crisis, existential crisis, if you will. And I had to really go inward and process a lot of trauma, and that led me to feeling completely empty almost, but not in a negative way. It felt like a way to rebuild myself, and it also made me realize that I don't fit inside those boxes. I spent a lot of time being a woman, a feminist, which I still am, and very inclusive feminist, intersectional feminist, but I'm not a woman. And for me, it just looked and felt very hypersexual and very needing the male gaze, needing attention in this way. And that to me was what womanhood looked like. It felt like, and it felt for me linked to trauma. It didn't feel like it was myself. So once I stripped away that trauma, I realized that it also took that hypersexuality, this like need to be so, I'm a woman, hear me roar. And I was shocked. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know what to do. And my best friend, who's been my best friend for 8 years, basically listened to me and was my community before I found the sanctuary. She was my community, and she listened to me go over and over and in circles and go jump through hoops and go to the ends of the fucking world to figure out who I was. And you know, it brought me back to childhood where I thought, like, am I a boy? I thought I was trans. I didn't want boobs. I didn't feel comfortable in my body as a woman. And then I, fast forward to here, and I feel comfortable in my body now because I know it's not a woman's body. It's my soul's body. It's the body that my soul chose to go through these certain things to get me to this point of being who I truly am, so that I can give back to the world in that way and be able to share my story. So this isn't necessarily a story time. This isn't a one-off. It is continual. It is a journey that I go through every day. But every day I wake up and I feel connected to everything and all of it. And then some days I don't want to be any of it, but I'm still a person. I'm still existing. I'm still whole. And that's what non-binary means to me, is just getting out of the box, like stepping outside of it and like seeing inward and seeing all facets of it. And in a recent post I made, I said she or he are only facets of who I am, and I don't choose to live partially. I spent a lot of time closing off a whole lot of parts of me to protect myself. I don't have to protect myself anymore. I don't have to just survive anymore. I get to thrive, and that looks like whatever the hell I want it to look like. But I know for a fact that I'm not a woman, and I know for a fact I'm not a guy. I just kind of float in between and out of all of it. And I know that there are people out there who feel like that and don't know how to describe it. And I'm still learning myself. So I want to open up that conversation and educate people on what that looks like. I know there are people struggling in silent like I was. I was blessed to have a friend that would let me sit there and talk to her for hours about being so scared. Like, what would people think of me? Well, how would they even believe me? They would think it was a phase, or like, I'm just trying to get attention, because all I had done was try to get attention. I have big boobs, I have a curvy body, I look so feminine, I look so woman passing. Like, how would that look? What would that look like? And I lived in fear for a long time. And I finally got to a point where I couldn't feel like that anymore. My soul couldn't hold that anymore. And I let it be.
How do you handle the negativity, or have you had any negativity explaining or telling someone? Have you had any hostility or negativity?
Yeah, not a lot, thankfully, because in my journey of healing my trauma and really working on myself, I kind of brought people in to my bubble and me in their bubble that did accept me. So the hostility that I did get was minimal. I also have to say that, again, I am white and I am a woman. I look like a woman. I'm woman passing. So I know that I have a lot of privilege, but for me, it was a lot of almost like shit, like whatever. Like, it was like someone basically saying like, no, like, that's not that, like, how? What does that mean? I get a lot like they, them are my pronouns, and people are like, well, you're just one person. Like, first of all, we're not even gonna try and get into this English lesson because you're dumb. But I exist, and you don't get to decide that. So the hostility has been from people who are uncomfortably curious and confused. I don't take that as negative, because I personally know that those people are not at the level that I am at, and people can only meet you as far as they have met themselves. So if they're closed-minded and they don't even know who they are, of course they're gonna see a fucking unicorn walk in the room and be like, that doesn't exist. That is a figment of someone's imagination. That can't be real. But like, I exist, and I can't say that enough. What I'm here for, what I advocate for is myself, but I also advocate for everyone around me. I fall under the trans umbrella, but the people of color, Black people, anybody who falls under people of color, they get it so much worse, and that's what I'm here for. I don't get a lot of hostility in that way. I don't have to worry about getting called names. I don't have to worry about being alone. I don't have to worry about getting murdered. I don't have to worry about those things, because when people see me, they don't assume that about me. They don't think that about me. It's not something they just know. I can exist quietly, and that's a fucking privilege, and that's not fair to other people. So yes, I'm non-binary, and yes, I have a story behind that, but that is also for me to stand up and educate people so that there are people of color and Black people who need to be protected. It's not about me. It's not, at the end of the day, it's not about me. So hostility, I'm more angry that there are people of color and Black people getting hostility, because it's so much worse. It is so much worse. And it is not fair for someone to already be so stigmatized and so treated like shit and also not get to be themselves. That's really not okay to me. So that's my vision, is to educate people. So if you can look at me, a white person who looks like a woman, and respect me, do not think that I'm going to let it slide if you try not to do that to a person of color or a Black person or someone who is trans, because they get killed every single day for existing. I don't have that fear. And that is one of my, no. So you respect me, you can understand me, you figure it out for yourself for me, you're gonna do it for everybody else too. And I draw the line at that, because I have a zero tolerance policy in my space. And that is also a vision for the sanctuary that I have. We will be educated. We will create a safe space for every single fucking person that needs a safe space, because I have a zero tolerance policy for it. The hostility that I get, I'll brush it off. People don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because I have the privilege to do that. They don't. So that's not even, my own hostility is not even in my realm of thinking, because mine is this much. This much. People honestly don't even care because of the way that I look. And that's not okay to me. So that's that.
So if somebody from the Treasure Coast who is struggling with their identity didn't classify themselves in the male-female realm, out of space, what would you tell that person that would come and seeking help and not really knowing how to explain how they feel in that realm? What would you tell that person?
That is completely valid. That it's okay not to fucking know. There were times that I didn't know what I was. Like, how do you explain that? I didn't know. And then somebody said the word. And I was like, what? And that looks like so many different things to so many different people. You come into this space and you're confused about anything, and that's valid, because you don't have to be anything to be accepted and to be cared for. When you figure it out, we're gonna celebrate. But until then, we'll do it together. And I am capable to give that now that I am in the space to give that to myself. Thank you.
You want to keep going, or you want to compose?
We're composing. Oh, we're composing. So, yeah, what I would say is you're welcome. Please come. Please talk to me. Please exist. Please be you. Please allow yourself to feel those feelings and know that we are gonna get through it and you're not gonna have to do it alone anymore. Our mission is to create a safe space, and now also being on this board and being a part of this community, I will go to the depths of hell, we're all going there anyway, for you. So don't hesitate to come to us. You don't have to be anything to be here. We can figure that out together. Time to listen to me and hear me. If you feel confused, if you want to know more about what non-binary looks like, if you need resources, if you just need a shoulder to cry on, if you need someone to talk to, please come and see us at the sanctuary. My arms and heart and door are all wide open, and we want you to be a part of our community, and we want you to feel valid in who you are and that journey of finding that out. So all of our links and any information about us is going to be below, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. No, don't go. If you or anyone that you know has a story that they want to tell and they want to share, and you need to be heard, or someone you know needs to be heard, please reach out to the sanctuary. Anyone in our community is welcome to share their stories with us, because that helps us grow. That helps us unlearn, relearn, educate, and be a community. We are united together, and we want to hear what you have to say. That's gonna help someone. I know for a fact it will, because being here with all of you helps me every single day. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.